Hello my friends, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, June 19th, 2018. This is Jennifer. I have a couple of fun things to share with you guys today. I did go to Linus on Saturday and I turned in 2 quilts. I didn't make either of these quilts. One was donated from our own Sarah from Houston and another was donated from So Hooked member Jewel Shepherd. I did a large meander on them. I did not quilt them at the same time like I did the last Linus quilt tops I had donated because I put different backs on them. So I just quilted them one after another. I did a different thread on both of them and just a large meander like I said, and got those quilted and bound, and they did go out on Saturday. The quilt from Sarah in Houston, I used a donated batting that was a thicker batting than I'm used to, so it was very puffy, which was really interesting for me to quilt on. I hadn't quilted on anything quite like that before, so that was a fun, just different thing to do. Instead of piecing this last week, I was working on cosplay with my son, which I'll probably be doing for another week or so. He's working on 2 cosplays for a convention he's going to in Dallas in August. He actually goes to college up there, and so that'll be going on right around the time. I think it's like maybe the week before he goes back to school. So he's only home for about another month, so we're trying to get his cosplay wrapped up as quick as we can. So the first cosplay we've been working on all started with this t-shirt that he bought. He got it at Hot Topic sometime in the spring, and this is a Persona 5 t-shirt for the character named Ryu Jie. I think I'm saying it right. I hope I'm saying it right. And so he decided to take this character, which he looks more or less like this, and he wanted to cosplay this. So what we've done, like I said, he had the t-shirt already, so we found this black blazer at Savers. I think we paid $3 for it. It was just a black blazer with black buttons. I pulled all the buttons off. He and I went shopping and we went to Joann's. We got these big buttons at Joann's. We actually ended up getting these at Michael's because we didn't realize that there were more red buttons on this jacket until we had already bought and added these buttons. So it has red buttons in all the places where it had black buttons. This one is just a faux. There's no buttonhole here. And then these two don't have a buttonhole or anything because those weren't on the jacket before. So this is the school crest that goes on the jacket. So I did this in a combination of EQ Stitch, which is the upgrade version before EQ8 came out. I think I got that in maybe 2013, and I haven't upgraded to EQ8. My understanding from the forums and from the help page on EQ is that if you upgrade to EQ8, you lose your EQ Stitch unless you run it completely separately. And EQ Stitch is full-blown EQ7 plus embroidery design capabilities, so I don't want to run 2 full-blown design softwares on my computer, and so that's why I haven't upgraded to EQ8. So anyway, that's an aside. I did most of this in EQ Stitch. I did everything but the letters, and then I imported it into my Embrilliance Essentials and added the text at the bottom. So you're able to, in Essentials, you're able to sort of manipulate size, and you can turn things a little bit, and you can separate layers, and you can add fonts and stuff, but it's not an actual, like, you can't design from scratch in it. It's more of like a manipulation software. So I added the text on this, and so it has the high school name super, super small at the bottom. When I first did this, the whole thing was embroidered, and the white was so dense that when it sewed the black on top, you couldn't read the letters at all. So I actually redid it with the background as an applique, so that this background white is actually felt. This worked out. I was really happy with it, and then machine sewed it right onto the jacket. I put an inside pocket here. I made the pocket and then I hand stitched it on because this was a lady's jacket, and so it has little tiny pockets, and he's got giant man hands. Also, he needs to be able to have a place for his phone. The other cosplay that we're working on, and when I say we, I really mean we, like, he's making all the props and we've been working in the same room together, and he chose all the fabric and he's helping with me with the concepts and the designs, and if he has time he's going to do some sewing. But he's been so busy making props that I've been powering through getting the sewing done while he's doing the props for his costumes. So these are the pants for Wakka, and this is from a video game called Okami. They don't look like much on the hanger, but when he puts them on, they're really, really long, and when he puts them on, this part goes up around like close to his knee. It goes just like right under his knee, and it makes the bottom of the pants poof out like the picture. If you guys have been following me for a while now, way back in 2008, I made an Inuyasha costume for my daughter. So I mean, we're talking 10 years ago. she just happens to still own those pants. She wears them like pajama pants, and I dug through my stuff and I had the Inuyasha pants pattern that I drafted 10 years ago. So I used this pants pattern for this because he tried on her pants and they fit him very well. They were just too short. So I used this pattern and made it longer. And this is just a fabric. It's like a marbled fabric from Joann's. I'm sure you guys totally recognize it. I'm absolutely sure I've used this in a quilt before. But we went with all marbled and washed out sort of fabrics because the style of the video game is watercolor, and we thought that that would add like a watercolor look to his outfit. So I still need to make a sash for that and a jacket, and then there's like the long wings for the headpiece. I have all the stuff to make that, and we're probably going to work on it this afternoon and tomorrow. So hopefully I'll have some more of that to share with you guys next week. I also want to thank you guys for the great response to my Metroid quilt that I made for my son's friend. He's actually leaving on Thursday. He's moving out of state, and it's going to be a while till we get to see him again. So he did love it. I did gift it to him Monday afternoon, so he had it before I posted my video. And several people have asked me for the charts, so I'm going to get those cleaned up. And if I have time by Friday, I'll get them posted. If I don't have time by this Friday, I will post them next week. So it'll be the next week or two. I will add some notes to it just to make it a little easier, so I can tell you some of the stuff that I troubleshooted and already have figured out, so that, you know, like how many squares of whatever color fabric you're going to need and that kind of stuff. So I will, like I said, either this Friday or next Friday, I will have that posted for you guys. And we reached the end of what seems like it's going to be a fairly long video. I want to remind you guys that tomorrow is Art with Disney Quilt Along with Alita. She is wrapping up, and she did post a design invitational at the beginning of this quilt along. So if you guys would like to submit some awesome Art with Disney patterns to share, they can be any kind of quilting technique that you like. They can be pieced or appliqued or paper pieced, whatever, as long as it works with the theme of the design invitational. And I believe her suggested pattern size is 12 inches because that's what all of her patterns are. That gives you the opportunity to mix and match based on her designs. So if that's a thing you think you might want to do, be sure and get those entries in. You can find more information about that if you look at any of the Art with Disney posts. There's a link in the bottom near where her signature is that has where you go to find the rules for the design invitational. In July and August, we're going to be revisiting the Choose Your Own UFO quilt along, which is a thing we did last year on Fandom and Stitches. It was very popular because it allowed people a couple of months to just pick something that they were working on that they hadn't finished and pull it out and try to make some progress on it. If you've got blocks that need to be pieced into a top, it's time to pull them out. If you need a few more blocks to finish to have enough for a top, it's time to pull those out. If there's a project you've been dying to start and you just haven't, July and August, those are your months to do it. We'll be doing that on Fandom and Stitches, and your support for that will be the Fandom and Stitches Facebook group. So there will be links for that in the description of my videos. And also you can always get to those from Fandom and Stitches, and it's very easy to go to Facebook and just type Fandom and Stitches and you'll find it that way too. That is it for me for the week. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you have a crafty week if you're a Talk to Me Tuesday, or I hope you've sent your May and June blocks for the Talk to Me Tuesday swap. And that is it. I will see you guys next week. Have a great week. Bye.